What is up, everybody? Welcome to the AJC podcast. And today we got my man Braden on, one of the young guns, the young rising stars in our business, doing absolutely amazing. And Braden, man, so happy and honored to have you on the show. Welcome to the AJC podcast.
I appreciate that, man.
Sure. So, Braden, man,
Yeah.
how did you even get into the life insurance business in the first place?
Yeah, sure. So I'm kind of a risky guy. So I started with really absolutely nothing. Best way to go in something like this is to go back against the wall. Man, don't expect the outcome too quick, but also, man, I had the people around me, telling me to get life insurance. They were making decent money, but they were also helping people. So I like helping people, dude. I like making money, so why not? And I took the chance, and I became successful. So
Dope. And so, how old are you, bro?
I'm 19.
19. Had you ever been in sales before?
I have not. So I had a clothing brand, and I was, selling that. But as far as over the phone, telecom, or any type of sales like that, no, sir, I have not.
Mm. So did you know somebody, or like what was the process for you to get recruited into this agency? What were you doing before you got into selling life insurance?
Yes, sir. So my friend from school, he's been a friend for a long time. He was, and one Sunday afternoon, he hit me up and he was like, "Let's meet at Starbucks. I want to present something to you." So it was a good business opportunity. I liked it, but the organization I was in just really wasn't fit for me. Um, it's not, I don't want to bash anything, but I like to be surrounded by individuals that make, the money that I would think would be absurd. That is just a regular, so each week, these monthly numbers over here are, maybe 20K, but now in FFL, legacy creation where I'm at right now, it's those numbers every week. So it's the new norm. That makes sense.
Yeah, and I saw that's Jake, right? Jake Wamba, Legacy Creation.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so
Yes, sir.
I saw the
Yes.
top 100, and that just blew my mind, bro. I was like, man, this and what
Yes,
that
sir.
what that allowed me to realize is that the agency is only gonna go and fly as high as the leader leading what I'm saying, the pilot, the ship. And I was like, man, Jake must be an amazing leader because he had 100 people producing at a high clip, and those numbers were astronomical.
Yep. Yeah, most definitely. It's leadership. It comes down to leadership, who you're surrounding yourself by.
Yeah. And so
Yes, sir.
you've been able to make a splash at a young age really quickly. What do you think has attributed to you having so much success early on in your career as a life insurance agent?
Sticking to a plan that works. I came here. I was trying to recreate the wheel. Jake, Marco, my uplines were like, man, don't recreate the wheel. Trust the process and stick to it, and your time will come. So I say, stick in the lead spin. Surround yourself by individuals that are doing more than you, and you're gonna be set up for success. And also wake up every day wake up zero. So it doesn't matter if I sold 15K yesterday, I'm waking up to zero. It's a restart every day, and you're due. You're gonna be due.
Yeah, man. And that's so funny that you say that. Go ahead.
Yeah, because the first 2 months I was in this business, I was barely cracking 5K a month, and that was luck. It was all luck. Like I got the client at the right time. I said, somewhat of the right things, but now it came down to skill. Your leads, I would feel like made a huge difference just because I was using other lead vendors, and instead of providing, I was having to sell too much. So I went with them, and I don't even remember doing that, or I don't have time right now. Well, now with your leads, I call them in between like 5 minutes and then filling out the form. And now I'm providing in less selling. Yeah, I'll inform you. And then after that, we'll make an informed decision if this is even right for you. But at the end of the day, man, your leads have been a game changer for sure.
Yeah, thanks for saying that. And I'm glad you said that because that'll lead into the segue about how we got connected in the first place. But before we do that, you said something that was really profound, and so I really want to kind of have you expound on that, which was um, consistent lead spin, and then surrounding yourself with people who are writing more business than you. So those are two principles that I find that happens far too often with insurance agents is they find something that works and then they go and try to do it. And again, we've been through this before, right? Like you're like, oh, I'm pausing and try something else, and then it doesn't work. And then they try to come back. And it's like, if it's working, right? If it's working, and continue to do it, stay consistent with it, and then surround yourself with people who are doing better than you.
Yes, sir. Most definitely. Because at the end of the day, I mean, yeah, you'll have some weeks where it's not as hot as last week. Like I said in the beginning, if you stick to a lead flow and you're consistent with your leads and you work those leads and you show up every day, what you're going to be due. No matter what, you will sell. Just depends on if you're catching those people at the right time. You know, if you use a script, how are you talking to them? But like I said, with your leads, man, I've been providing rather than selling. Yeah, I'll sell to a certain extent, but the people know what they want as soon as we get on the phone. So, I'm just providing them and see if that's the right fit and see if we can even get them qualified for that.
Yeah, for sure. And so how did you come across AJC Leads in the first place? How did you hear about us?
It was a referral from one of my friends. So Marco had heard about y'all, and then Nate, he heard about y'all, and then as soon as they got on, I got on just because I'm gonna do whatever the people around me are doing, and if Marco was selling 50 plus K, I thought I want to do that as well. There's no reason why I shouldn't be following his footsteps.
Right. Yeah, and I remember that too because it was like a no-brainer. I had two other clients that did that, Derek and Jerry, where it was like, "You doing this? All right, cool, let's go." And it was just like, making that quick decision, which is like not getting left behind. But like, at the same time, the proof was already there. There was so many people. But was it like the end? Was it January and January, early February? That was just like absolutely crushing. What'd you say?
Yeah, I started January, and that was like the turning and event for insurance. So I wouldn't say I was barely keeping my head above water. I started in October selling mortgage protection, but then I realized when I was selling mortgage protection, I was pivoting to IULs a lot. So when I was pivoting to IULs a lot, it gave me practice. So when I was ready, the 2K, I took the leap of faith and then just really invest into myself. The first month I kind of had to eat it, but that's a part of the process because, if you get these delayed drafts and, you kind of have to eat it and then you get in your head, man, I don't even know if I want to keep on spending this 2K because I haven't been getting paid. If you trust the process and show up every day, I promise you, you'll be in so much of a better place for sure.
Yeah, and so kind of speak to that because it's like you're going on February, March, April, right? Going on 3 months, right? And again, one of the things that most people wouldn't talk about was you trying it, and even in there, right? Like you were like, all right, I need to pause or I need to quit, right? And go and try something else and then come back. And most people wouldn't even bring that part up, but I do want to talk about that because it's important to know what you observed and then, what was the lesson from that? Because for you to do 80K last month, right? If you wouldn't have had that moment and then come back, like this wouldn't be possible. And then sticking with it, you're able to do that at 19 years old, bro. I wish I could put up 80,000 at 19 years old. My gosh. So let's talk about that, right? You learn a lesson.
Yeah.
And then, you come back and then you start cooking.
Yeah. So, I mean, when was that? I believe it was January when I was having to eat everything, man. And I was just like, crap, is it even going to pay off? That's why I say stick to it because I text Arturo. I believe it was a little later at night, and I believe it was before draft day. So I was like, man, I think I need to just pause this and maybe set it back up next week or something like that. Well, then you said like you can't stop something. We can't put this on pause. So now we're just gonna have to put you on the wait list, and then when you come back, maybe we can fit you in. And, well, that was one of my trial and errors. So I did that, and I came to realize very quick. Well, these other leads I was using I was so used to just providing, right, rather than selling. So I was selling, and then I was getting lower quality leads, but I was getting a lot of them, and that's what you're good about is fewer leads, better quality. So I'd rather have 10 leads and I can sell 5 of them rather than 20, 30 leads and I'm barely selling 2 of them. Just because they're filling out a quick form and then boom, 5 minutes later, they got somebody calling them and they forget about it. So I realized very quick that I messed up. And the week after that, I got me right back on, and it was off to the races.
Yeah, and it was so funny because if I don't remember correctly, it was like a quick sale too. That was like a confirmation where you came back and it was like cool because we had to wait a couple days because we didn't have a spot. And you know how it goes though. Let's just keep it 100. You're like, oh yeah, we got a wait list. You're like, yeah, that's bullshit, right? Like no, dude, I'm gonna pause and then I'll come back. But we really did, and the reason why was because we had so many people trying to join, like trying to keep that quality up. There's only so many leads per month that you can generate at a high quality clip. And I had done this 2 times already with the vet leads and with final expense first responders. So I had already, this is the 3rd iteration of this playbook. So I knew that there was a cap. And if you bring too many people on, this happens with every lead source is they just try to go to the moon. And there's only so many good leads that can go around. And so you came back, and then like within that first day or just like really quickly, I remember you sending me a text and you like, boom, and sales that come through. And bro, since then you've been off to the races. And I just want to commend you too, because a young dude being disciplined, consistent, and then surrounding yourself with a bunch of winners, that's a very mature spot to be in at your age with a lot of responsibility for the work you're doing.
Thank you. I appreciate that for sure.
Yeah,
most definitely.
So, what kind of drives you, bro? Because you to be 19 years old, man, you could be doing all kinds of stuff, right? You got the world, you got your majority of your life ahead of you. Like, what inspires you to kind of get out of bed to do this? Especially putting up a month like that. Most agents are just kind of like, I'm finna go to Turks and Caicos for a month, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, after a year of you actually selling, putting your head down, reward yourself. Most definitely. Don't get burnt out. But what drives me every morning is seeing my mom have to go to work, seeing my dad having to go to work, seeing my brother having to go to work, seeing my family having to go to work. I want to retire everybody, man. And I understand, like, my dad was telling me this the other day, if he had this opportunity when he was younger, man, he would have taken it. So, of course they're going to say, go to college at first, get your degree. Well, that's great. Don't get me wrong. I have nothing wrong with college. I love it. I respect people that do go, but it just wasn't the fit for me, man, because I'm spending time in a classroom. And this is why I graduated early. Actually, I was spending time in a classroom when I was thinking about just making money and how is this going to really, improve my life? What am I learning in science? How is that going to be better? Okay. So I took the risk not going to college. I just completely dove headfirst into insurance, back against the wall. And I honestly do feel like that's the best situation. So yeah, after that, I reached out to Jake and Marco. He actually helped me and, got me on my feet and my head above the water, just made me succeed. But dude, coming in here, man, it was scary. It was for sure scary. But like I said, now stay disciplined and really just, show up every day and don't change the wheel. Show up every day and keep your head down and just sell, man. Just stick to the script, man.
Yeah, 100%. And so definitely appreciate you sharing that. Yeah. So when you see top people, like the top performers or like good leaders, what's one of the things that has stood out to you being under the tutelage of like, everybody's been to a rinky-dink operation before, right? Because that's where we all learn. It's like, okay, this ain't it. then you finally find a good leader, a good coach, a good mentor. What's one of the things that is like that you notice that's the huge differentiation between the two?
Picking up the phone when I need you, because I'm one of those people that can work from anywhere. I'll get up, work from my bedroom. I'll call from my bedroom. I don't have to be in the office. But when I'm just like jumping in here and I need your help, well, if I call you and you don't really answer and I've been trying to get hold of you all day and, you know, you kind of just brush me off because I'm a new agent, well, that's kind of like a red flag to me. And that's why in this new organization, you know, Jake's team and, you know, Marco's team, well, as soon as, you know, I started, I was giving them a call and on the first ring, they pick up. And yeah, man, what's up? So you did this, this, and this wrong. Let's implement this, this, and this, and then try on your next call. So really just making sure you can get a hold of your uplines, making sure you can plug and play the strategies. Don't, you know, reinvent the wheel. Our team, if you're looking for somewhere, our team is actually, we have, you know, leads that I guess partnered with Arturo. And even if Arturo's leads, you know, if you want to get on there with them, they're great. That's what I'm using right now. But the leadership is there. You know, we have great scripts and literally trainings every day. So I would say that's the part that helps most, is just the leadership and being able to answer the phone whenever I need you.
For sure. Well, yeah, man, dude, it's been awesome. I'm excited to see because the future's bright for you. And being under a good leader, we have this saying at AJC is that a good tree can't bear bad fruit. And so with you being under Jake and Marco, you're in good hands and your work ethic is there, man. Honestly, it's you know, you're a young guy, so man, push it to the limit. Push it all the way. You know, have some time to celebrate, but max out, bro. Life max this thing, right? Because
Yeah.
there'll be things that you can learn in this first level of being an insurance agent, which is the second level, right? Is you learning communication, right? But now you're gonna after that, then the next level is delegation, right? Where you need to be efficient with your time and get really good that you can sell finally, so then you can translate that into teaching people. So now you got a process that's duplicatable and you're a good leader and you're available. So now you're in this management piece where you're delegating. And that's that next level for you. And then that'll start attracting, right? Because all you need is to get one other person like you, right? And when you have that, then that person starts
Yeah.
attracting more people like you. Because A players only want to be around A players, right? And so that's kind of my little 2 cents to you, man. But yeah, what would you say? Because there's people that have watched this, or you know, they see these numbers, right? And sometimes they look like video game numbers, and I'm sure you've probably seen them before. Like, how could somebody that's 19 years old, just like you, write $230,000 in the month of January? You know what I'm saying? That just sounds crazy. Yeah, I was saying there'll be a bunch of people that'll watch this and hear writing 80,000 in a month, like a young guy just like you doing $239,000 in a month. Seems like some crazy video game numbers.
Yeah.
So what would you say to somebody that's, you know, kind of on the fence of checking this out, maybe 50-50 of jumping into something like this, but they're kind of skeptical because those numbers just don't, they seem too good to be true.
Yeah, for sure. And I was kind of the same way. I was on the fence. But if I could tell anybody this, it'd be take the leap of faith, put everything in God, and show up every day, work the leads, and you're going to be destined for greatness. Because after all, like you said, you can get some leads dumped into your system, but if they're not, you know, quality leads, just it's a waste of time, to be honest with you. Let's get, you know, 50 leads in our portal and they're on our Google sheet, and you know, let's sell 20 of them because they're high quality. So I feel like if you're on the kind of on the fence about joining AJC, dude, just jump, take the leap, and it's gonna pay off for sure. Because if I would have never taken that leap, I really don't believe I would have achieved, you know, 80K months
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. And so congratulations to you. I know 100K month is probably next on your list. Like I got to crack 100, bro. So
this
I'll
month.
be, yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. So I already know. So excited to hear that. But hey, if somebody's like, man, I want to get plugged in with you. Maybe I'm not in the right situation, or maybe they want to follow you, or they want to get connected, stay plugged into a high level organization. Where can they reach out to you after they watch this video?
Yeah, you can reach out to me on Instagram. My username is Braden Hernandez 3, and basically we'll get on the call. We'll see if it's a right fit for you. We'll see what you're currently doing, and if it's the right fit and you like our team, because we do have all the resources for you, then we can look at further steps. But if you want to reach out to me, my phone number, I'll say that on here, 469-560-3965. You can hit me up there via text or via Instagram, Braden Hernandez 3.
Awesome. Well, Braden, man, future looks bright for you. Thank you for spending some time. I know you're busy, got appointments and stuff to do, but thanks
One
for
just
taking
came
time
in.
to do it. What'd you say?
I said one lead just came in, actually. I'm about to,
Yeah, that's dope. So again, well, without further ado, bro, let's get to work. Let's put those numbers up. Let's hit that 100K, and we'll be ready to celebrate as you cross the finish line, bro. Thanks again for hopping on, bro.
I appreciate you, man.
Awesome.